Hi, Anthony.
Yes, hello. Hello, Sylvia. Today we're interviewing Sylvia Rands, who is a channel, a conscious channel, and she'll be channeling the group of what they call the group of 100. And this is a gathering of ascended masters and galactics. And the topic today we'll be talking about will be a Q&A on the energies for 2025. And today's date is the 9th of the 1st, 2025.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll just Happy New Year, everybody. Hope 2025 is feeling great. I'll just connect in. Greetings, dear souls of planet Earth. We are the group of 100, and we come forth this day to offer um, insight as to how this year is progressing for you. Do you have questions, Anthony?
Yes, what are the main energies that are going to occur in 2025?
So the energies, furor is the word that we are using. There is an underbelly of society which is being exposed, and there is an underbelly in humankind's consciousness which is going to be uh, shocked and challenged by these exposures. As they progress, they may start gently in the year, but they will become stronger and stronger. Many, as it were, sacred cows will be falling and crumbling and indeed being crushed underfoot as people get stirred by feelings of rage, by feelings of betrayal, uh, as their security and their safety that they held in these, particularly, we are talking now about the spiritual constructs of religion and church, many of which will be exposed to have very weak, if not dark, frameworks that they have been upholding beneath their pretended light for many, many centuries.
Hmm. So what do people need to know um, in relation to feelings?
It is a time of building your ground, standing your ground, holding ground. It is a time where the word boundaries, which has been used a great deal in psychotherapeutic circles and personal growth circles, but this time boundaries are for 2025, they are taking on a new energy again. They contain within them now the idea that I know who I am, and this is the world and the energy that I stand on and stand for. And anything that attempts to push me off my grounded, balanced place does not belong in my life. Whether that is a news report, something a friend says, something that you pick up somewhere online, anything which is not coming from a solid source that you respect, or that immediately on hearing resonates as truth within your current framework of discernment. These strong positive additions to your consciousness, they will come in clear and light and bright. There may be a little bit of needing to integrate them, different sets of information, for example. But what is yours, as the old adage goes, what is yours will come to you. What is yours will stay with you. Anything that brings up large levels of indecision within you, confusion, trigger points such as feeling reactive about another person or feeling annoyed by so and so or what so and so said. These are signs that this is to be dropped. We are needing clear, strong fields on planet Earth at this time. The journey of this year is for each person to clean up this field, to clean up their own energetic field. As we have said before, and will urge again, this is deeply supported by increasing communion with nature, taking time out in as pure an environment as you can find, such as deep in the bush or wild ocean beaches can provide, of which we know there are an abundance in your country, New Zealand. These revivifying aspects of nature to be consciously drawn on this year. You will feel the lack of them. People, once they feel their heads getting busy or fear threatening to penetrate into the space, you will feel that the balance has been lost. And so we ask each and every one of you hearing this broadcast to take the time to anchor your field, to enter with great self-love and compassion for humanity, to be at the core of this field, and for you to not be afraid, to have no fear about using that great boundary word, which is no. I will not do that today. That does not suit me today. Can we find another time? Or indeed to just feeling it may be time to separate from such and such in your life, whether that be a job, a partner, a friendship, a way of presenting yourself in the world, a way of using words in the world, your tendency to cling to past, what we will call default settings of belief and understanding. All of these can be jettisoned. Anything superfluous can be jettisoned so that your anchor point, your resonance in your true field of resonance can become stronger. And within that, all the multidimensional aspects that are currently awakening on your planet can enter.
Fantastic. I think you've outlined very clearly the solid, a solid source of discernment. Is there any other advice to help people in discerning this to get in touch more with themselves?
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for this question, because this leads us to a key message that Sylvia will be working with very consciously in her teaching this year, in her workshops and in her private healing and training work, which is the understanding that it is crucial for humans at this time to know what they are feeling. Consciousness is frequency, it has been said. Penny Kelly, Sylvia listened to a wonderful interview yesterday, if you wish to look this wise woman up, Penny Kelly, talking about consciousness is frequency, and frequency is feeling. This, Sylvia has been teaching this for 30 years in her 4 Elements voice work. Feeling is how spirit communicates with the individual. The more you can define and refine your daily awareness of how do I feel about that? When that person says that, what does that make me feel? When I read that, what does that make me feel? When they say this to me on the news, how does that make me feel? Feeling is the aspect which allows the individual to move from slumber into active, sovereign thought. Because what you feel defines who you are and the actions that you will do and the associations you will make. Feeling is at the core of your personal creation, your selfhood. So this is a year of plunging into any form of teaching or training or counseling or therapeutic work, which reveals to you more and more these layers of your emotional body and how it is constantly giving you insight, refining your intuition if you allow it to. And this is a great wealth that sits inside every human being. To be clear, feeling has been marginalized. It has been bad-mouthed. It has been diminished. It has been named to be part of the weak feminine, to be wussy, to be uncool, to be whatever words it has been given. As the divine feminine reclaims and has arrived in full force back on planet Earth now, it is this aspect of knowing what you are feeling, getting a handle on your feelings, which indeed is the most active way to bring the divine feminine into the center of your life. This is for the male and the female, to bring, to invite these qualities of deep intuition and self-knowing into your daily awareness field and the daily practices that you commit to. Is this clear?
Yes, very, very clear, very clear. And I think you've covered most of the topics. I think with this latest pandemic that a lot of people have achieved, they used fear as a message of control, and people had feelings towards their family and people and the community and wanted to do the best for everybody, and they were working on that as well.
Yes, this was a time of great mind control, as we say, a great psy-op that the dark forces managed to pull off. We are grateful as we perceive from our prime vantage point that humanity has indeed woken up to a lot of this. Many still have not, but many have. And as each person realizes that no, they will not allow themselves to be imprisoned in their house or to lose their job or whatever moving forward, the more each voice of each human steps forward and says, I will not allow this. It is the government who must serve us, not we become victims to the power of government, which after all is really just a group of individuals, isn't it? Just as each sovereign being is an individual. The history of government on planet Earth has been that somehow they are mightier than, but it is indeed really only the governing forces, the majority of which have been aligned to darkness, that have created this idea that, as it were, government is God and must be obeyed. This year, 2025, and this, I think, is where we can leave this today, is about understanding that you are the God. Each person has the God spark within them, and there is no greater point of self-reference or access to prime source energy than through the self, through the individual who spends time in silence, in stillness, in opening to spirit, in communion with the divine that is within their cells, in their being, in their ever awakening and expanding DNA. This is the biggest shift of 2025, which will bring great peace and empowerment and sovereignty to every individual who chooses, because it must be chosen, to follow this path at this time.
Brilliant. Thank you for your advice.
We thank you today, Anthony, and we send all of those who will hear this great love, and we honor you in this mighty task that you have committed to of holding light for and on planet Earth at this time. This is the time where those with a soul mission, the light workers, every human being choosing to walk the path of spirit, this is the time where you count. Your words matter, your energy field matters. It is part of the great divine shift into bringing the planet into the time of alignment with the highest frequency available at this time, all which is part of the journey, dear Gaia's journey toward full grounding and full activation in the fifth dimension. Again, for those of her inhabitants who are choosing this path at this time. Blessings to each and every one of you, and thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Great. So we'll leave it there for today, and much love to everybody.